Hello, family. My name is Moses B. Arthur. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the hub of consistent, constant value. Value that will switch up your output level because you are mixing up your mind with my mind, and the fertility of your mind is receiving nutrients that will cause you to do and become better for your world. Today, I will be talking to you guys about creating a personal brand, how to position yourself as an authority and attract high paying clients. I'll take it again. Today, I will be talking to you guys about creating a personal brand. Not just creating any kind of personal brand, no, but how to position yourself as an authority and attract high paying clients. High paying, I didn't say low paying, high paying clients, guys. We live in a world where everybody is talking about they being a brand, everybody is talking about they being a brand, but the bigger question is their brand really converting for them? Is it attracting the clients that it's supposed to attract for them? Is it converting into substance that it's actually supposed to convert for them? So creating a personal brand, there's a way to go about it that brings people who will appreciate your value and commit substance to the value that you are creating or to the value that you are putting out there. The first thing we need to understand when it comes to creating a personal brand is actually to define what a personal brand is to define what a personal brand is. I believe that a personal brand is the reputation, image, and perception that a person has in the mind of others about themselves. So the reputation, the perception, and the image that a person has about himself in the minds of others. So the effect that you have created in the minds of others about you is actually what your personal brand is. The effect that you have created in the minds of others about you is what a personal brand is. Usually it represents your or the unique qualities, skills, and experiences that defines who they are and what they stand for. So for instance, if you're looking at me, I usually will make a post and go like brand MBA, brand MBA, brand MBA. Now, if we want to really know what brand MBA is, then we need to go like the principle of Jesus. Who do men say I am? And by means of the definition and the answers that people will give, it tells us a good, or it defines a good way what my personal brand is representing out there. Are we seeing reputation in there? Are we seeing good image in there? And are we seeing a certain kind of perception of my skill set or my unique qualities and my experiences with the people? That is what a personal brand is. That is what a personal brand is. And once in a while, you need to go in there and then ask that question, like what Jesus did. He says, "Who do men say I am?" And then they started giving all sorts of answers to him. Some said he was Elijah, some said he was Moses, some it actually did speak a lot about his personal brand. So once in a while, I just reach out to people and then try and get the feedback that they have of what I represent in their minds. You understand? So now, how do you now build a brand that converts, as in how do you build a brand? First of all, to position yourself or to position you to make you an authority, and then in return convert clients for you. The first thing you need to understand when it comes to creating or building a personal brand is to identify or to create your niche, to define, identify, or create your niche. It's super, super, super important that if you're going to have a personal brand, then you need to narrow it in down on your expertise. It is based off of your expertise or your skill sets or your experiences that you stand on. It becomes the foundation on which you build a personal brand. There's a very funny thing out there that whenever people think of personal brand, the first thing that hits them is to wear a suit, wear a shirt, wear a tie, and then do a photo shoot, and then they say, "I'm building a brand." No. When we say somebody is a brand, the person first of all has a niche. The person has something they are known for. The person has something unique skill sets that they stand and represent. So for instance, when we say Cristiano Ronaldo is a brand, you are not confused because obviously he may have other things that he is doing, but primarily what is he known for? Football. When we say that Kevin Hart is a brand, primarily the first thing that comes to your mind is the actor comedian Kevin Hart, because that is what people know him for. That is his niche. And so you need to, first of all, in trying to build a brand and position yourself as an authority, before you become an authority, you need to find a niche. And the depth and way you establish yourself in that niche is what makes you an authority. So first thing is to identify or define your niche. Narrow it in down on your expertise. So somebody will talk about sales and position themselves in the area of sales. Another person will position themselves in the area of online sales, which is very different from physical sales as we see. So you need to narrow it in down on your niche, and then based off of the way you narrow it in down, it becomes the foundation. It becomes the building block on which you build your personal brand. Now, the next thing you need to understand when it comes to building a personal brand after you have created your niche is to make sure that you have created a unique value proposition. A unique value proposition. A unique value proposition. This proposition must be clear, specific, and benefit driven. It has to be clear, specific, and benefit driven. At the end of the day, you should be able to give people enough value. You should be able to, when people, for instance, if you say that you are a salesperson and people come on your platform, or whatever means it is you are using to distribute the value out there, people come on your platform or they come on these distribution platforms and they see something that is contrary to sales, then at the end of the day, the people will look at it and they will not necessarily be able to appreciate the holistic sense of what you are driving in at. It's not benefit driven with reference to your niche. It may be benefit driven to you, but it is not benefit driven with reference to your niche. So it's important that after creating or after defining your niche, you create unique proposals, value driven proposals. Super important. Now, after creating these unique value driven proposals, the next thing you need to understand is to create a consistent and professional image. A consistent and professional image. Again, I like to use Cristiano Ronaldo, one of my favorite footballers and icons in the men's football industry. I know the Lionel Messi folks will come for my head on this one, but if you're a Lionel Messi folk and you are arguing about this, we'll leave it for you. But most importantly is the fact that as I'm speaking to you right now, Messi has taken his money, Ronaldo has taken his money, me and you, have we taken our money yet? So let's focus and build the grind, guys. So, you look at it in that context, and now you need to make sure that when you think Ronaldo, you don't think a guy who goes to the club. Everything that represents him has to do with what he does. And so you need to create a clear, consistent, professional image about you after you have found out your niche. Now, this clear, consistent and professional image is where the bit of photo shoot comes in, and that's the least of it. Usually people just think photo shoot and they think they've started a brand or a personal brand. No, you do not have a personal brand yet. Do you have a website? If you do not have a website, now your website is one of the easiest ways for which people are able to appreciate what your entire brand is about. It's actually a selling medium. It's an investment. Your website is an investment. So it's not just about a photo shoot. Do you have a website? What are your social media profile handles saying? What does it look like? So all of these things are important. What's your business card looking like? It is very, very important. The reason why it's so important to create a clear and consistent image for your personal brand is to establish credibility and trust, because then what happens is that at the end of the day, people can identify with you. At the end of the day, people know you. At the end of the day, people can see your face. I've had people who have followed my journey for 5 years, and when I opened up my business to investment, they just walked up straight to me and said, the first thing I like about you is the fact that you have been consistent. From following your socials through till time, we can tell that you are somebody who is consistent. And so just by me putting out a clear, consistent image of me out there and projecting my work and the value I bring to the marketplace, they could just see one trait in me called consistency. And so it is super important that you understand the dynamics in play with reference to what I am talking about. It's not just about doing photo shoots. No, photo shoots are literally the least of it all. They are what, yes, you used to represent the first imagery and everything of yourself. But then it does not just end there. Do you have a website? How do your socials look like? Does your socials have a particular pattern? Does it your captions? What are your captions saying? What does your LinkedIn look like? All of these things are means and ways to create consistent and clear professional imagery of yourself. Now, the next thing you need to understand when it comes to building a personal brand is networking. Networking is super important ultimately in trying to build a brand that will position you as an authority, because then when you create and carve your niche, there are people in your niche who are top dons in it. There are people in your niche who are King Kongs in it. There are people in your niche who are masters of the game. They have been at it for long. So the next thing you do is, if you cannot hit the King Kong of your industry, there are lower King Kongs in there. There are lower dons in the space. How do you begin to network and connect with these guys? Because that is what will also give you a certain leverage in the niche that you are carving in. Because what happens is that when you begin to rub minds with these people, you begin to learn the ins and outs. You begin to learn the trade secrets of how your industry operates. You begin to learn the trade secrets of how your niche works. And then when you understand that, ultimately it will help in the benefit driven or the value proposition that you are putting out there to people. So networking is super important. Building relationships with the people who have already done it and are doing it and have stayed relevant in the space. It's like, for instance, you are an upcoming rapper in Ghana, and you want to take over the airwaves. You want to become one of the biggest things that Ghana will celebrate. And in trying to do so, there's an industry night going on and you're in the house playing FIFA, or you don't want to connect with the likes of Kwesi Arthur. You don't want to connect with the likes of Black Sheriff. You don't want to connect with the landlord himself or Bidihova. And then you tell me that you want to be consistent like him. But probably having a 20-30 minutes conversation with Obidihova will probably make you know that, okay, he needs to do this and that and that and that and that to be able to make it like him. Or I need to do this and this and this and that to be able to stand out and stay consistent and relevant like he has done. And so there are industry secrets. You can only know the industry secrets when you begin to network with the players of the industry, when you begin to network with the titans of the industry. So networking is the last thing when it comes to positioning yourself. That is where maybe you could find yourself a mentor in the space who will be probably handing over gigs to you because maybe they have a lot on their table whatsoever. But if not, you even get or stand the opportunity to learn from them. It is super important. And then most importantly, the ultimate thing that I want to leave with you, if you are looking out for building a personal brand, something that will position you and to become an authority such that you can attract high paying clients, is the fact that how you make others feel, how you make your followers feel, how you make the people who come in contact with your messaging or whatever value you are putting out there feel, is your ultimate trademark. How you make the people out there feel, the people who come in contact with whatever thing you are sharing. People may take your content through blog post whatsoever. It's how you make them feel. So lastly, it is also for you to understand that when it comes to building a personal brand, after you have done all of these things, you need to put out valuable content. You need to put out valuable content, because the valuable content is, remember the definition I gave, is what helps build the reputation, is what helps build the image, is what helps build the perception. So you need to create valuable content and put it out there through whatever distribution. It could be through your blogs, your social media, your LinkedIn, your YouTube. Just make sure you are creating valuable content, something that people can imbibe in, something that brings them great, immense value. It is super important. And lastly, my last advice and counsel to you, if you're considering doing this whole personal brand thing, guys, is the fact that what you don't know is darker than the night. Ignorance is such a huge disease in this personal brand space. You need to constantly add value to yourself. If you are somebody who wants to go heavy in whatever industry it is, you need to make sure that you are learning. The only way you can constantly keep giving people value is learning. The only way you can constantly keep dishing out value is to be stacked up in knowledge. Remember, the scripture says that it is not only for where there is no vision that people perish. One of the ways by which people perish is a lack of knowledge. So one of the ways by which you will decay, one of the ways by which you will stay irrelevant is when you are lacking knowledge. And so it is super, super, super important if you are looking at building a personal brand, is the fact that you need to constantly stay fresh and you need to constantly stay green. Lastly, understand. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Building a personal brand takes time. Building a personal brand is process. If you are going to attract high paying clients, the first time somebody paid me $5,000 from my work as a personal brand, the person told me that he's based in the US this month. He told me straight to the face. He said, I have been observing your journey for the past 4 years. It meant that if I stopped in the 3rd year and said that nothing was coming from it, and you know the interesting thing, to date I have not met this one, but he's somebody that believes in what I do and pays high-end value for it. So you look at all of this and you understand. I remember I was telling a couple of friends of mine that the first time somebody paid me proper money for my public speaking was a couple of years back, actually just last year. The person literally, I spoke for 1 hour 30 minutes and I was paid 15,000 Ghana cedis. And so guys, 1 hour 30 minutes 15k, it means that if you want to now spend an hour and 30 minutes for me, somebody has already placed a peg on it. And this didn't just happen. I'll probably be 6 years on or so, six years doing this whole business entrepreneurship thing and public speaking and authoring and all of that. On the 7th of April, 6 years this year, and it was last year in my 5th year that somebody paid hard-earned cash for me to come and bless his audience. And so it should tell you the amount of work you should be ready to put in. Assuming I gave up along the way, it's not going to work that way. So please understand, the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And so if you're looking out for building a personal brand and you are looking for the best people to capture your pictures, your videos, and all of those things, then Pixicon Studios is the place you should be looking at. Their contact will be shared in this video. Pixicon Studios, as I'm speaking to you, you can see their contacts scrolling on the screen. Reach out to them for your photo shoots, your video shoots as a personal brand. And you know, when you reach out to them, just tell them MBA, and that will be your discount code. Remember that in previous videos I've spoken to you about discount. When you reach out to them, just say MBA and you get that special MBA effect discount code. Love and light. My name is Moses Biata. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Cheers, guys.